We first broke this shocking story at 3 o'clock today. Chief Charlie Beck says he is not just going to sit back and let bad news get better. He is going to talk about it.
I know that this is a significant development in this investigation.
Take a good look. This is 31-year-old Los Angeles police officer Robert Kane. The 10-year veteran is now an accused criminal, stripped of his badge and authority. Chief Charlie Beck held a news conference to drop the bombshell, which he says came to light during the investigation rocking the Cadet program. 7 teenagers have been arrested and accused of stealing police cruisers, equipment, going on joyrides, posing as officers, and even conducting at least one traffic stop. Authorities were examining the cell phone of a 15-year-old girl involved in the bust and say that led them to Officer Robert Kane, who worked at the 77th Street Division in South Los Angeles, the same station where that girl was a cadet.
He was arrested for 261.5 of the Penal Code. That's unlawful sex with a minor, often called statutory rape. His primary current assignment is as the equipment room operator, in other words, the kit room operator. And it is believed that he had knowledge of and has been involved in the unlawful use of police equipment, including cars, by 77th and other cadets.
Investigators believe there may be other young sex victims, judging from the evidence, which they say includes explicit text messages between Officer Kane and the 15-year-old girl. Chief Beck used his own handcuffs for the arrest.
I find the actions of Kane, if they are proven to be despicable. These are the best detectives in the world, and they are working this case because that's how important it is to me to make sure that if you trust your kids to the Los Angeles Police Department, that I can look you in the eye and tell you that they're safe.
The entire cadet program is now under scrutiny, although programs at 77th Division and Pacific Division have been suspended. Live for now in downtown Los Angeles, Chris Wolf, KTLA 5 News.
So imagine seeing a coyote in your backyard in broad daylight and trying to
That's the home in question just over my shoulder. Moments ago, LAPD detectives wrapped up their search this evening. They are not saying much as they dig deeper into the personal life of Officer Kane following his arrest this morning. Kane, of course, was an equipment room operator at the 77th Division with plenty of access to LAPD vehicles and police gear. Tonight, we're getting a better idea of what he kept inside his home. One by one, LAPD detectives removing a cache of weapons, including what appear to be numerous rifles from the home of Officer Robert Kane. Sky 5 overhead as investigators executed a search warrant at the home on the 7300 block of Spring Mill Place in Rancho Cucamonga. Kane was arrested Thursday on suspicion of unlawful sex with a minor. Investigators became aware of Kane as a suspect Wednesday after a search of the alleged victim's phone led to text messages that were thought to indicate inappropriate behavior. Kane was then placed on surveillance. Neighbors say Kane and his mother lived together and describe him as a friendly individual.
I just saw him every day. Hi, and he's a very good friend of my husband, and he's very helpful. Every time he saw my husband coming in and out with something from the market, he's tried to help him.
And earlier today, Chief Charlie Beck said that Kane has no significant history of discipline or use of force issues and was not involved in any LAPD youth program. We'll have more on this story as it develops. For now, reporting live in Rancho Cucamonga, I'm John Fenolio, and I'll send it back to you.
LAPD officer arrested on suspicion of statutory rape after having sex with 15-year-old cadet, Chief Beck. Posted 2:37 p.m., June 22, 2017, by Melissa Pammer, Chris Wolf, and John Feniglio, updated at 2:39 p.m., June 22, 2017. A 31-year-old Los Angeles police officer who has been with the department for a decade has been arrested after allegedly having a sexual relationship with a 15-year-old cadet who was herself arrested in connection with the theft of police vehicles, Chief Charlie Beck announced Thursday in the latest installment of a continuing scandal involving the cadet program. Robert Kane is seen in a photo displayed at an LAPD news conference on June 22, 2017. Credit, KTLA. Officer Robert Kane was arrested at 11 a.m. Thursday on suspicion of unlawful sex with a minor, also known as statutory rape. For the past 2 years, Kane has been assigned to be the equipment room operator at 77th Street Division, Beck said. The chief went to the division to arrest Kane himself, cuffing the suspect. I find the actions of Kane, if they are proven, to be despicable. I find them to be absolutely inconsistent with the ethics and standards of the Los Angeles Police Department, and they are criminal, and I'm a police officer, Beck said in announcing the arrest. The development comes just 2 days after Beck disclosed that a total of 7 cadets have been arrested in connection with the theft of several LAPD patrol vehicles. The teen allegedly involved with Kane, in what Beck said was a short-term relationship over the last month, was one of 4 cadets arrested more recently. She was assigned to 77th Street Division. 3 initial cadets were arrested after the embarrassing scandal unfolded last week, when police officers gave chase to 2 patrol vehicles that had been discovered missing on June 14. The patrol vehicles, driven in tandem, split up, with officers in pursuit. Both vehicles crashed in 2 separate locations in the South LA area, and the 2 drivers and a passenger, all cadets, were taken into custody. They had taken 3 police vehicles. The 3rd vehicle was found near 77th Street Division after the cadets were questioned. The cadets were familiar with LAPD's vehicle tracking systems and were able to sign the black and whites out of an automated vehicle inventory system, logging in as a vacationing sergeant, Beck said last week. On Thursday, the chief said that Kane had knowledge of and has been involved in the unlawful use of police equipment, including cars, by 77th and other cadets, Beck said. It's possible Kane's alleged relationship with the teen was connected to her access to police equipment and cars, Beck said. That would be consistent with pedophile-type behavior, the chief said. After the pursuits and arrest of the initial 3 cadets, investigators recovered 2 LAPD tasers, 2 police radios and an expired bullet-resistant training vest, which was being worn by 1 cadet, the chief has said. No police firearms were missing. Now detectives are getting search warrants for Kane's home, vehicle, locker, phone, and other social media. LAPD detectives could be seen moving a cache of weapons from Kane's Rancho Cucamonga home on Thursday evening, including what appeared to be numerous rifles. Neighbor Myrna Wong said she usually sees Kane every day, calling him very helpful. Investigators became aware of Kane as a suspect on Wednesday, Beck said, after a search of the alleged victim's phone led to text messages that were thought to indicate inappropriate behavior. Kane was then placed on surveillance. Kane has no significant history of discipline or use of force, and was not involved with any LAPD youth programs, Beck said. At this point in the investigation, there's no indication other sworn LAPD personnel were involved, the chief said, indicating that could change. Investigators are trying to determine if the equipment taken by the cadets was used for any criminal or gang activity. Beck indicated earlier this week that the cadets may have illegally conducted 1 or 2 traffic stops. The department's best detectives are on the case, Beck said, including those who investigated the grim sleeper serial murder case that led to the conviction of Lonnie Franklin Jr. last year. The only adult among the arrested cadets has been identified as 18-year-old Leonel Roberto Flores, who was held on suspicion of unlawful driving of an emergency vehicle. A cadet named Roberto Flores was South Bureau's Cadet of the Year in 2015, according to the LAPD Cadet blog. Beck ordered a complete review of the 2,300-member cadet program, as well as LAPD systems for tracking equipment and vehicles. The cadet programs at 77th Street Division, where 6 of the cadets worked, and Pacific Division, where 1 worked, have been suspended. The Los Angeles Police Protective League, the officers' union, has faulted staffing levels in the department in offering sharp criticism over the cadet incidents. This is unforgivable and it's a black eye to the LAPD, said TJ Targimo, director of the union, earlier this week. On Thursday, the union issued a statement applauding the arrest of Cain. There should be zero tolerance for any officer who takes advantage of those they are entrusted to protect. We are deeply disturbed by this development and condemn this officer's alleged actions in the strongest possible terms, the union said. Beck said he plans to require all cadets to attend Saturday's graduation ceremony for new LAPD officer recruits. He intends to send a message of support for the program and the rest of the cadets.
Hey, Sheriff, we have a question about why your office, your intelligence division, is investigating private citizens for criminal investigation that happen to be activists that are overseeing your department. Why would you have your intelligence division investigate private citizens? We have done... Sir, we don't hate anyone. We love freedom and we love American people. And government is out of control. That's why you're seeing such a revolt nationwide. Why can't you just answer, why is Susan Edwards, your intelligence division, investigating private citizens? This should not happen.
Are you here to apply for a job?
Possibly I might be applying for a job, but that's irrelevant to my question. Why would you ask that question?
Well, enjoy the fair.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Excuse you?
Excuse me, sir.
So those of you that haven't
Wow.
been on a bike before,
Sheriff's getting a little too pushy. You work for us, Sheriff. Just keep that in mind. At one time we respected you, but not with that type of attitude.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheep up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Charlotte County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave let's say actually yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is if I got some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head, help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.